speaking in public, it's not all on you. How many times have you gone to do a presentation and just felt that pressure of, I've got to get it right. I've got to be the one that gets this message to land. I've got to be the one that has to tell the best story. I'm the one with all the information. It is the number one source of people's nerves. Before they go on stage, all they're thinking about is getting their talk right, is getting their words right, is making sure that they have this right. But the true secret of great presenting and landing the message is actually the responsibility lies with you and the audience. We talk a lot about being authentic in presenting, but actually I think the more important thing to be thinking about is creating the authentic relationship with the audience. Your job when you're presenting is to connect with the audience and then transform the audience in whichever direction you are going. The thing is that, we often say great presenters are great listeners too. That's true. But it's weird, isn't it? That concept of what? So when I'm presenting on stage, I'm supposed to just listen to what they're saying too. And how do I do that when I'm doing a presentation or a report to the board? What's all that about? And I think what that sentiment is about letting the audience in. It's about meeting the audience where they are. And there are a number of ways that I know presenters like to do this. First of all, really good presenters like to create that connection right at the beginning. You might ask a question of the audience right at the beginning of your presentation. You might, thank the audience, compliment the audience, get them to applaud themselves. Whatever it is, it's a way of getting the audience response in, feeling that connection with the audience to start with. And trust me, asking questions at the beginning is a really great way to get engagement because everybody in the audience goes, oh, I better pay attention now because they might ask me questions. So letting the audience in that way is a really great way to feel connected with the audience. Another trick that works on a smaller audience level or an office level or a level where people do know each other is to call people out in the crowd. It's to lovingly say something about how brilliant James was. Let's give James a round of applause. Or, we saw Claire the other day. She was struggling to get through the door and everybody's been having this trouble with the new doors in the office. What that does is it means that then the audience also then look at each other and they do this. And again, it brings that audience closer to you. And then another thing you might want to do is to, before you do the talk, before you go on stage, just start talking to members of the audience, even about what you're about to be talking about, because some idea of how they are feeling in the room right now means that you can utilize that at the start of your talk. I was talking to a few people when I walked in this morning, and I can tell that the thing that is on the top of people's minds right now is, and there you go, you've got it right in the room. So what this does is it creates this settling for you. It takes the pressure off you and it brings the audience in. Remember, these days, there is an enormous amount of interacting going on with the content that we consume. Not only do we choose, what we're going to watch, but a lot of stuff now is about gaming and is this person going to win? Or how can you be involved? How much gaming can you do? And so audience interaction should almost be baked into your talk. And then that means that your talk can rely on the audience and bring them in. So often I'll do a technique in a class and I'll say, you've got 60 seconds to speak. And that person thinks, I've got to speak for 60 seconds. Whereas the savvy people ask the audience a question about the topic that they're not sure about and get the audience involved. And the 60 seconds flies. The pressure is off. So in your talks this week, in your speaking engagements this week, in your meetings this week, start with the audience in mind. Make sure you're letting them in before you've even begun and work on that authentic relationship, that authentic connection, rather than necessarily just being authentic on stage. I'll be back next week. If you want to receive more of these straight into your inbox, make sure you sign up to the presentercoach.co.uk mailing list. All the information is in the episode notes below. I'll be back next week. See you then. Have a great week.